mess I made. But that is the fine grinding of the coffee grinder. And it's roughly 4.5 cups. I measured when I was putting it in here, and it was right around 9 cups. So it grinds down to about half the mass when you grind it down to the flour. So, what did we do there? All right, it actually was super simple. I left the dock to grow until the top with the seeds was that dark brown. You saw the color of it. And then I stripped the seed pods off of those branches. I put them into that plastic tote, and I left those in the greenhouse for several weeks. That's not really necessary if you're going to put them in the oven, which I also did. And I put them in at 150 degrees, and I left them in for 20 minutes. I don't think that did much to do any kind of toasting on them. I think you either need to have the temperature a little bit higher or leave them in longer if you want to toast them. I've seen videos, people say that by toasting them, they get kind of like a nutty toasted flavor to them. I don't know if that's going to have the same effect with what I just did. And then I went ahead and put the whole thing in. I picked out any branches or leaves that were obviously in there, that were big branches and leaves that came off when I was stripping it into the plastic bin. But the leaves are edible. The stems are none of it's bad for you. None of it's going to hurt you. So if a couple little bits of leaf or other stuff gets in there, not a big deal. If you have bugs in there, that was actually one of the reasons I left it in the greenhouse, is because any little bugs that were in it, I'd shake it up and they'd come crawling out, and I'd pick them out as I saw them. And then that helps just to let it dry out while it's in there. And then by toasting it, what you're also doing by toasting them is if there's any bugs still in there, it's going to kill them. It's going to cook them into it, and that adds a little extra protein. Who can't use a little extra protein? So the quantity comes down to about half of what you start with by volume. And now what I'm going to do is put it away and wait until Mrs. Howell does her next batch of bread, which is probably going to be here the next couple days, hopefully. I know we still have some from her last batch, so she doesn't make more until we use what was there, so nothing goes to waste. And when she does, what we're going to do is we're going to just do the same way she always does her bread, but we're going to cut the all-purpose flour in half, and we're going to put half of the dock flour and half of all-purpose flour, and then see if we can make the bread the same way, only using the dock flour to cut it in half, which, if you think about it, that's a great supplement as the prices are going up on flour and everything. If you can supplement half of the volume with dock flour and it still comes out tasting good, it's got good vitamins and minerals in there. You guys might want to try it. It's super simple. Don't try to separate the seed from the chaff on this dock. I thought that's what I was going to have to do initially before I did some more reading and looking at a lot of other people who have tried doing it and who have done it. And I was so happy when I found out that you don't have to. You grind it up with the husk, seed, all of it together, and it's good to go. You don't have to toast them if they're already dry. And by this time, at least in our area, I see them all over the place on the side of the road and some of the fields around here. You see these big, really just dark brown heads standing up. Those are most likely dockseed. There are other things that look similar from a distance. You'd have to go and inspect it and make sure it's the right thing, but there's a lot of them all over the place. Just remember, the volume that you collect is going to be reduced by half when you're done completely making it into flour. So there you go. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one, and hopefully we will do some delicious dock flour bread. So come back and check that out, and leave me any comments or questions you've got, and I'll do my best to answer questions and reply to the comments. Y'all have a blessed day.